See me?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna check it right now. Okay, Twitter. Yeah, got that. Got the Facebook. Got that. Dashboard. Yeah. Gotta angle it. Oh, I'm gonna check it right now. Okay, Twitter. Yeah.
Gotta mute yourself.
Oh, yeah, I did. Okay.
Did you? Did you?
So they can see us really well. All right, so it's Fridays, and you guys know it is. Well, it is Diablo 3 from a casual point of view. Episode number 4.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, it's 4. Good.
4?
So, basically, what's been going on is that me and Nate Dogg together every Friday, and Nate Dogg goes off in the magic world.
Of responsibility.
A responsibility. He lives life. He got a wonderful wife. Got a wonderful dog. Works. Doesn't have a lot of time. He doesn't do it full time like how I do. But it's always interesting to get perspective from the casual gamer. And that casual gamer, in the sense that we're using, is not a bad one. Just a player that maybe has to do a lot of other stuff, and they just want to get in and get out, play the games that they want, because they got other stuff they got to do. Not the bad casuals that just complain about everything. But anyways, I digress. So it's been about, what, going on week 1 of ROS, right? Or week 2?
Week 2? I think it's week 2.
No, what it is we started.
came out?
Well, it's about week 2-ish because, about a week and a half, because because the game came out on Monday, and then we did the review on Friday. So Nathan was playing a wizard last week, but apparently he rolled a Crusader. And
Well, I wanted to see how the Crusader rolls, and
okay, cool.
I
And
think the Crusader is going to replace Barbarian in terms of having a melee fighter.
so you've really been enjoying the Crusader.
Oh, hell yeah.
What are your favorite aspects about the Crusader?
Man, there's so many things. He could really easily be a what do I want to call it? If you're a runner, if you just want to kill mobs, very easily he could be a mob runner because of the spectral horse. There's fucking a mob of people in my way. Just run right by him. They just run through him. He's insane.
Interesting.
I like his abilities. Almost all of his abilities.
That fucking horse, man.
It lasts like 7 seconds. Almost all of his abilities hit multiple targets. So you'll walk into a room and you'll throw your shield and it'll just... There's actually, if you have your graphics set high enough, it actually decapitates them.
Right.
So they will stand there and their head will go, doo, and they'll plunk forward.
So you're really enjoying the Crusader right now, the new
Yeah.
class.
I
Plays like the Barbarian you always wanted.
Yeah. He literally plays like a cross between a Barbarian and a Monk from Paladin from Diablo 2.
Right.
He actually has the hammer, which I never liked, but the hammer's back where you just spam it and it does that thing. But I never liked that, but it's there.
Now, have you found that getting upgrades and getting started? So you got a couple legendaries here. So do you
I
like
got a bunch of legendaries.
Do you like how it's been dropping like a lot of legendaries
Oh, yeah.
and been helping you out and stuff like that? So you've been enjoying that. You've been feeling like when you're leveling, you've been feeling like, oh, I'm getting nice stuff, I'm getting cool stuff, and I'm enjoying the game.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, when they start slowing down the legendaries when you get to higher levels, do you think that's going to be okay or diminish your return on playing, or you think it's just going to be more interesting because you got more stuff to do and use?
Well, that's an interesting thing because we've not played this game with the new setup from start to finish.
That's true.
Everybody's come in at this is what's happening now. So I'll have to see once I get to level 60 to see how I actually push myself through. It might, as soon as level 70 ends, it might just drop dead, or
Right.
it might push through because I'm getting the better stuff to get to the better stuff.
Okay, and so right now you said you're just building a lot of damage, not worrying about toughness because you just want to shred through stuff, and then once you need a little bit more defense, you said later on you're going to go ahead and get that, right?
Right. Well, who's going to die at level 1 that's played this game before in normal difficulty?
Well, that's
Nobody.
true.
You could stand in fire and just be like, and it does nothing. So I basically just stack DPS.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, you take 50 hit in defense with using this, but get 0.5 in damage. You take that.
What would you say is your favorite skill of the Crusader? Your top 3.
Oh, well, are you talking about combat-wise? Or
Anything
just like
out of all of them.
I love the horse. It's just like, fuck, I turned the wrong way. Boop. You're back. It doesn't take you 30 seconds to get back. It
So
takes
good
you
mobility.
6 seconds. Oh,
Okay.
hell yeah. The horse is great. I would think, personally, that would be one of the ones I hated the most. No, I love the horse.
Now, have you noticed something now? Do you like what are your other 2 skills? We got to do that first.
The shield throw.
Okay.
Because I don't think it affects on what weapon you have equipped for speed. So right now I found a two-handed spear.
Right.
But I don't think it affects the shield. Because when you throw the shield, it doesn't ting, ting.
It's not slow.
Yeah, I don't think it really affects
I think the
speed.
only thing that is determined by that is the actual throwing of the shield and how.
Well,
it works well for you.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, that. And then there's another one, I don't know what it's called. Basically, you just take out an incorporeal flail and you just hit, like, everything in an arc. Kind of like Fury with Barbarian, where it just kind of hits this arc. Except, when I played it in level 1, it was like, oh, here's a big mob. All dead. It was such a good feeling just going and just getting them all. Okay. So, yeah. Overall, the horse. I love the horse.
Now, you get those little blood shards where you can gamble with, right?
Yeah,
I would not use those until level 70.
Yeah, that's the only thing right now I don't really like about it is I can either play storyline or I can do what is that called?
The bounties.
The bounties. But doing the bounties as the Crusader, you yield really low level stuff. Like,
right, but
I got this gem that I'm not going to keep because once you get to level 70, it drops the highest, so I just sell them. The only reason I have stuff put into my stuff is because...
Well, I'll say this. The bounties provide you the rift shards. And the rift shards, if you use it, you can save them now, and then once you get to level 70, you can do level 70 rifts.
Oh, yeah. No, I did one rift, and I completed it.
Did you enjoy it? Did you like the pacing of the rift? Did you feel like it was kind of too mobby, too not mobby? Some people don't like it too mobby. Some people like it mobby. Some people just don't care. They want to get in there.
I liked it.
And then the actual boss that spawns you kill, it drops a Forgotten Soul, is which they're actually using for, like, say, is usable for higher level stuff. So
I don't think I got a Forgotten Soul.
No, that's not till you hit to about 70. But
no, on my wizard I did a run.
Oh, okay. It's not a guaranteed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Also,
I wasn't even playing on Torment either, so
I'm going to talk about what's been going on in the DIablo situation. You can just give your feedback from a casual point of view.
All right.
One thing players have been doing is they've been putting on a lot of gear, like Magic Fine or just gearing up to survive it. They put the settings on the T6. That's what they were doing, and they are actually running into the environment, just opening up chests in an area that had a lot of chests. Well, how do you feel about that? Now, one argument is that, it takes away from the game and developers put all this time and effort and everything else. And another argument is that it says that, hey, this is the most efficient way to get legendaries. I'm going to do it. So how do you feel about the whole matter?
Well, personally, I think when you do something like that, it kind of diminishes the concept of the game. The game is meant to be fun and not necessarily... if you want to grind like that, play an MMO.
Right.
Because that's what they are. MMOs, you go, you raid this dungeon, you do it 10 times, you find 10 other people that want to do it, and then maybe you'll find this item. Diablo's not really supposed to be for that. The idea is, I think, to me, when you find this really good item, it's because you stumbled across it. If you're actively going out, like when I was an achievement whore, trying to get all the ghosts, and I had to look them up online, I sat there for hours just, is he in here? Nope. Start the game over, go back in, hours, just to find one stupid ghost, and it wasn't fun. I don't... If you want to do that, go play an MMO. There's plenty of good MMOs that can do that. To me, it's a waste of the game. And
now people are mad because they nerfed the chest and removed how many they were. And, it's been hotfixed, so that doesn't happen anymore, but it was just interesting to hear it from your point of view. Okay, so, you can understand why people do it, but there's other games that you can basically go play that really interest that...
Well, that's the concept.
The concept of it. It just kind of... But it's not fun.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's a stupid idea.
Now, another thing that they were doing is that they're at level 70. They were doing the bounty runs and getting little rewards or cachets, but what they do is they would go to T6 settings and open them in the Torment level 6 settings.
I was wondering if they would... If
and the item...
change.
And
I would think it wouldn't just because... Everything else doesn't work that way.
And now, from what I heard, it was just the Imperial... You would get Imperial gems as opposed to Marquise or Marquis gems.
Whatever.
Right. Now, Blizzard hotfixed that. Do you see the reasoning behind that? Do you think they should have done it, or they should just let the gems be the way they are and spawn what they did on T6?
Well, if it's only affecting the gems, I don't think it really matters because they're dropping out the highest low-level gem. What the fuck? What does it matter at this point?
Okay.
Really? I went through all this work to get not even the Marquis or whatever it is gem.
Well, it's gem and gold, but you can't trade gold and you can't. So you're saying something like that, okay, whatever. It's it may or may not be lame, or it may be fun, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really kill the game.
No, I mean, considering they're dropping the lowest high level gem. I mean, I remember when I had shipped fucking gems, and I made that thing a resplendent gem or whatever, and then they started dropping things as a standard.
Okay.
Which shit I already had spent all this money on making.
So the
So
legendary
they already screwed themselves in that.
legendary items, you understand, like, no, you shouldn't be getting but gems and little shit like that, especially when there's no trading and it's all what you get, you're okay with that.
Well, money's kind of pointless now. I
Right.
mean, especially since you can't buy or sell it legally.
Right.
So money is...
Well, the
gold-
rumor is that some gold sellers still know how to sell gold. You got to do it between a glitch, but it's kind of gamey.
But either way, I mean, the concept is still the same. Gold is basically debunked as...
Something, another resource.
Why would you restrict it? All you're doing is making me farm more for gold when, you know... I just think restricting the gold amount is kind of dumb.
So you think they should basically lower the gold down so you can still match, they should lower the gold a little bit just to make it easier so if you want to craft or do shit.
Yeah.
Because
I
now
don't
you
think
can't trade it, right?
Yeah, I don't think crafting should even be that expensive. Like, I seriously crafted a couple things, and I'm like, okay, I just spent $1 million and got nothing because...
Right, and you just go out to the field and you pick up something
and you find something
and you
better.
reforge it, and then it's like better than crafting.
Yeah, so I think the crafting is way too expensive.
I think they're doing that because they want to eat through a lot of people's shit who had a lot of money and resources and stuff like that.
Keep the
then
gold back to normal.
after that, then I think they're going to go ahead and lower the prices.
That's very possible.
Okay, so we talked about those issues. I'm thinking, was there anything else major? Oh shit, they buff bounty rifts, so they give 25% more legendaries.
Okay.
Good or bad?
Neither.
Right.
They did.
Right. Some they added, right? I think they did that mostly because, to kind of offset people from just chest farming and to encourage doing bounties and doing the rift. Because the rift is supposed to be like the reward from doing the bounties and stuff. So now, what people were doing before is going into the rift, spawning the boss, kill the boss, reset. But now you actually see players clearing out the whole rift because there's a 25% increased chance for a legendary.
Right.
Which is pretty nice. Okay, so we went through those topics. We know that you're rocking a Crusader now, level 48. Did you find that the Paragon points helped out a lot?
I think so. I think that's one of the reasons it was so much easier is because I don't know if they do, but I had to set my Paragon level. So even if I am a level 48, I still have a level 80 Paragon. So I can still max out my attack speed, which is actually what I did differently with this one.
Okay.
I didn't do, its strength or whatever. I did like run speed, and I did other things because I know I'm not gonna die.
Okay, well, right on. Well, good stuff.
So, yeah, I think the game would be a little different if you started from 0, no Paragon level 1. I think the game would be different than just starting another level 1.
Do you think you'll get your Crusader level 70 by next week? Do you feel like the leveling pacing is correct? Do you feel you're leveling some slow? Because some people just say it's too slow and they say it's not going fast enough to get for a new character from 1 to 70.
Then you're not killing everything. That's basically what it is. If you're not I level 3-4 times in an hour.
Now, do you think it's a better thing to level a new character from 1 to 70, or do you feel you should get rushed through? Which do you prefer? Which do you think might be better? Or when do you think it's okay to rush through a character? When you think maybe it's better to level up, or how do you feel about the whole issue?
Well, if it's a new character, you should go through each step. I mean, personally, I try and go, well, this is the new skill. Let's put this on and see how I like it. Some I skip because it's like, okay, while you're inside the sphere, you gain more armor resistance. Okay, that I'll need later. Right now, there's no point to try and see if it helps because nothing can kill me right now.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you are making a barbarian again, you know how a barbarian works, you know what skills you're going to use, you know this, and you're making it because you're bored.
Or maybe make it on your server, or you're making a hardcore version.
Yeah. You're making
then
a hardcore version.
The power level, because you don't,
Because you already know what you're doing. You're not experiencing anything new, unless they did something to hardcore, which actually is a pretty interesting idea.
Okay.
Maybe make every character have, a free life tick or something, because why the fuck would you be a barbarian on hardcore when Witch Doctor, Wizard...
Exactly.
I'm dead, run! And wait for your free dead to come back.
Speaking of that, I don't know if you actually had this affected to you, but I think a couple days ago they were DDoSing the European servers for 2 days, and they also DDoSed America, but the American servers kind of rebounded faster than the Europeans. The Europeans had a real tough time.
Oh, yeah.
And DDoS is when somebody sends a large packets of information that are just basically overload the server, so everything starts lagging and timing out. Not too easy to deal with. Now, There's a lot of people who play hardcore, and a lot of their characters died. Coming from your point of view, how do you feel about that? Maybe should Blizzard restore their characters, or maybe it's a thing of you made a hardcore character and you knew when you click, because in the whole thing it says if you lag or anything and you die, you die. How do you feel about the whole issue since they were DDoSed by an outside source to the company?
That's like,
Keeping in mind, I forgot to say this part. If you do get hacked and your character dies, Blizzard will restore a hacked character. What do you think?
that's like talking about politics. It's that's a very thin line. For me, I don't think hardcore characters are worth it. What is it? Bragging rights? Is that it?
I think so. A lot of people like to kind of
So it's bragging rights. Okay, I'm 29. I never beat Final Fantasy 13 or 3. Final Fantasy 13 3. When I was 15, I would play that game until I beat it because I beat Final Fantasy 7, I beat Final Fantasy 8, I beat them all. Now, hardcore, unless you're doing something with friends to be fun, why? Mm-hmm. What is the point to have a hardcore character for bragging rights? So basically, you're saying you're childish. I don't see the point of it. Now,
I'm kind of childish because I want to go for World Best Witch Doctor.
Well, but see, that's different. This is an avenue. This is something that you're basing a social system on.
I'm a jerk about it. King of all witch doctors. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But again, a lot of people like a challenge. Myself, I don't understand it. Maybe the challenge is getting that equipment to stay alive. Go, look, I've never died with this character, and he's level 80, and look at this shit.
It's a personal challenge.
Exactly.
Or you say something, I want to be the best because I want to set a goal for myself, and it'd be cool to do.
Right. So if it's, like the Completionist. I love the Completionist. He's on YouTube. Look him up if you've never seen him. He does some good stuff. Maybe the Completionist in the world, to get a max level hardcore character. That's an accomplishment. Do you know? Yeah, hardcore has their own set of achievements. If you're an achievement whore, there you go. I mean, there's reasons. Personally, I don't think those reasons are wanted. Now, if their server crashed and all their characters died, I would say no, just because that's the point of the character.
And that's another element I always tell hardcore people, because they ask me, Debo, what should I do for my hardcore character? I tell them, you don't die from monsters, really, if you play smart.
Yeah.
You die from a disconnect. So I tell them, you need to have enough toughness on your character. So if you were, say, fighting an elite or Mathael, whatever, and you did you beat him?
Yeah.
Cool. And then
I'm doing this. How could I?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. And then he died. And then if you were to disconnect fighting an elite, you should have enough toughness so that
10 seconds go by and
you would disconnect as opposed to dying. And that's what I try to tell people. Like, you need to prepare for the disconnect because we're online. Now, if they did offer offline mode, I think a lot more people would play hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Because it's more interesting. But people don't want to lose out when it's something of an outside party, whether it's their internet or somebody else's internet.
Well, I'm very against always online myself.
Mm-hmm.
Diablo 2, it's like, yeah, if you wanted to play on an online server, they would check it and go, well, you have obviously cheated, so this character's not allowed. Okay, but if I want to run around Diablo 2 with all the best armor and just destroy everything, I'm in one-player mode.
And also people also argue, like, on consoles, you could, they had the game coming out for console. It's like they already had the Diablo 3 out for console. You could play by yourself. You don't have to be online and check anything. Why can't you provide that for PC?
Yeah. Well, that's because people that play console don't get it.
They don't get it.
Why would you play a PC game on your console? That's like playing Counter-Strike on the Xbox. Remember how bad that was?
Yeah, but you can't tell people that. But it was an easy paycheck for Blizzard, I think.
No, I get it.
Right.
I get why they did it. If they can get somebody to buy a copy again because they're collectors,
might as well, right?
All you're doing is switching it over from this to that.
Okay. So we went over the little patch changes and stuff like that. What's been going on in Diablo, the little hot fixes and stuff like that. You're enjoying the Crusader class right now. Do you think you'll get a level 70 by next week or what?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm level, 48, and I've been playing for... Let's see, I started playing Tuesday, but I didn't I didn't start playing the Crusader till probably Thursday.
Oh, okay, so you've been leveling very quick.
So Thursday...
Do you still like your
Friday,
wizard?
Saturday, Sunday... Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 9 days divided by, maybe an hour? So like 9 hours, give or take. And I'm already level 48. Yeah, I think by next Friday we'll Definitely be level 70. I may substitute him for my
Wizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because.
Do you still
it's
enjoy
good.
playing your wizard?
Yeah, of course. I haven't played him in a while because
Crusader.
doing the Crusader.
And that's the whole point. They want you to try new characters and stuff like that and level up.
I mean, if you haven't played a Crusader, you need to try it. Like, I'm gonna give Debo my info so he can fuck around with my guy just to see how it is.
So
have you played?
No, I haven't touched no other characters except Witch Doctor, dude.
That's another question for the other idea.
So okay. So I mean, we covered all the major issues. I'm thinking about it. Well, you'll get level 70 next week. You like the pacing. You like the legendary drops. You feel like they're not over too much, but you're getting different items and different pieces of gear. If you could say one positive thing about the Crusader and one negative thing about the Crusader, and then I'll ask you one more question. We'll close this up. But what's one positive thing that you like about the Crusader and one negative thing you like? But it could be anything like in terms of Blizzard should have did this or Blizzard should have did this. If a Blizzard executive asked you your input on the Crusader, and you could say one good thing they did right and one bad thing they fucked up on, what would you say?
Okay, well, the negative thing is fairly obvious. It is literally a cross between a barbarian and a paladin from Diablo 2.
Okay.
You can create people to come help you fight. Barbarian does that here, where he creates the other ones, they go forward. The hammer thing. He's literally a cut and paste of, there's these abilities from Barbarian, there's these abilities from Monk, and we'll make it a new class. And it's not a new class. It's basically a Barbarian 2.0.
Okay.
So in that respect, it's basically replacing the Barbarian. So when you have a Wizard versus a Witch Doctor, very different play styles. Very, very different. But the Crusader and the Barbarian, you could almost have the same build. And so what's the point? There's nothing that the Crusader has that the Barbarian doesn't that makes it you go, well, I like the Crusader because he has more range. Or the Barbarian's better because he's closer combat. Mm-hmm. Because they have such similar abilities, they're basically
you would figure that they would have more spells per se as opposed to just a lot of melee up in your face, because that's the whole point of the Barbarian.
Right. So I mean, there are differences. There's the War Horse, but then there's this one where, what does that look like?
Berserker.
The Berserker Rage, or whatever it's called, for the Barbarian. It's the same thing. Your strength goes up, your attack goes up, your speed goes up. It's the same damn thing. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. Now, with the exception of, like, there are some cool things with the Crusader that obviously pushes it over the Barbarian. Two-handed weapon shield. Holy crap, are you kidding me? So, they have, like, Morning Stars and stuff as their special weapons. They have special shields. This shield is awesome for the people at home. Shield glare now hits all enemies around you. Click one. Click one. So now everyone around you gets glared. So when you get surrounded, I'm about to die, everybody's stunned.
Helps out.
So, I mean, the way I see it is the Crusader's way better than Barbarian. And that's just my opinion. I mean,
and now,
sure.
What's your positive thing about the thing that they actually liked a lot about the Crusader class? Like, you guys fucking nailed it on this shit.
One, that he's a strength-based class, because before the expansion, if you were playing a Barbarian, you were under cusp, because more things are going to drop in Charisma or Dex or whatever, because there's two classes. So I'm glad that they made him a strength-based class. I like that he has special shields and weapons.
It makes it feel like you're playing a Crusader.
Yeah, the lore behind him is really good. The Barbarians did not have such good lore. It was, if you play Diablo 2, you'll know what we're talking about. So either you don't know what's going on, or you already know what the hell's going on.
But with the Crusaders, they explained everything and broke it down.
Well, but the thing is with the Barbarians, it's if you play Diablo 2, you know that they were at Mount Arya in the expansion, that Tyrael destroyed the World Stone, and now the Barbarians have no homeland because it was in their homeland. Okay, so
I gotta look back up what actually destroying the World Stone did. I gotta go back and look that up.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So if you know the Barbarian storyline, they're already telling you what you already know. If you don't know it, you're being told something that makes no sense to you. But with the Crusader, it's a new lore. It's it's got all this new information for you to find out and do. oh, when you get to Mithael or whatever the hell his name is, your like spiritual follower, like the wizard, it was his old teacher. And, oh, we never found out who killed you. Blah blah blah. With the Crusader, it's just the guy who trained him. And in the wizard, when you have to collect the souls so you can hurt Mithael, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the wizard, it's just...
Well, probably not, because I just spacebarred through everything, but yeah.
well, you have to gather the souls of the people that are dead or the people that Mithael has killed to be able to hurt him. That's why Tyrael couldn't stop him, because he's not a ghost or something. But with the Crusader, you only take on the spirits of your former self, meaning the master-student thing, and they all start yelling at him because he doesn't have an apprentice yet.
Oh, wow.
Because remember I told you they each take on their master's name, and so you're not really you. And I was actually surprised they didn't do it with the Templar, considering if you listen to his storyline, spoilers.
And Templar are not related to Crusaders.
They're not, but again, if you know his storyline, which you said you don't, he actually leaves the order because he finds out that when you become a Templar, they actually torture you to a point of forgetting your negative deeds. Wow. Yeah. So basically they torture you until you forget you are a bad person, and then basically raise you from having amnesia to being a good person. And after he figured that out, he got pissed off, and it's in one of those dungeons I was telling you about where if you talk to them, you kill the head of the Templar order. You and whatever his name is,
Crusader.
The
Templar. Yeah.
You and the Templar destroy the order. There's no more. The hierarchy's gone. Everything's gone. So I thought maybe that he was going to take him on as a Crusader because they're warriors. He no longer is a Templar because he disbanded. I thought they were going to do that, but they didn't. Or at least not yet, because they're hinting at another expansion.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, they said, well, Mithael used Diablo's soul stone to gain power, which released Diablo's soul back into the world, so that's kind of them hinting at a third. So I'm thinking...
I like how they did it when they made the Nephilim seem like at some point the Nephilim might become corrupted, because Nephilim is a champion of destroying demons in heaven and hell.
Well, in lore, the Nephilim is the offspring of a god and a human. In like biblical lore, if I'm remembering correctly. So they're kind of like doomed-ish-esque. So I thought that's what they were going to do, and maybe they'll do that in the expansion,
Maybe we should do another show with you where you just talk about the fucking lore. Because people are like, one guy's looking at the chat room, he's like, ooh!
I told you, spoiler. See, that's what happens when you pay attention to this shit.
Me, I just run through, give me the gear, shut the fuck up, Tyrael, give me this, reforge it, where's my cash at?
So, okay, so to sum up, I like the Crusader for, two-handed weapon and a shield. I like the horse. I like that. I don't like that they basically instead of thinking of new things the Templar or the Crusader could be versus the Barbarian, they literally just stole some ideas.
Right, because they could have made it more like he's a melee / spellcaster. So if you want to go deep into spellcasting, you can. And then if you want to go to melee, you can. Or you can hybrid and use both like the traditional paladin.
Right. So
or just not do a cop out and just be like, look, motherfuckers, this is the new paladin order that has evolved into the Crusaders, but they're descendants of paladin from Diablo 2. Then okay, at least they're kind of just manning up to it.
Right. I mean, they literally just went, okay, here's some of these, let's do this again. I mean, if you look at a monk and a demon hunter, they're not really similar at all.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Are they? I mean, I've played them very little, but I don't really see, this is the same as this. And I'm sure there are some similarities because they're both dex-based characters. But are the witch doctors and wizards the same?
I got to read the lore about the witch doctor because I don't know nothing.
I'm just talking about the moves.
No, they're completely different.
But these aren't.
Yeah, I can see your point.
Again, not necessarily a bad thing, more of a lazy thing. Like how long was this in development, and really you want to have a big buff?
Just like every other.
It's just like the other one. You can literally call people to defend with you. That's two major moves from the Barbarian that the Crusader just has.
Okay.
No thought put into it.
All right, cool. Well, I think we covered a lot of good aspects next week. I want you to go basically get your Crusader to level 70. And what I want you to start doing is start doing bounty run and riff runs. And just let us know. Even if you just go only do a couple at level 70 if that's possible.
I've done a bunch of bounty runs. You can see my... Where is it? So yeah, 24 of them.
Yeah, so once you get to level 70, use those. And just let us know how everything's going at the higher level and level 70 and stuff like that. And how things are going for you.
Okay.
But other than that, we'll see you guys next week. I want to go ahead and stop the stream and then start it back up just so that I can easily go back up and upload it later. So please stay tuned. We're going to stream and talk for a little bit. But as always, we thank you guys for coming to the Diablo 3 from Casual Point of View Friday. And just remember today, we're going to start doing the Foley giveaway on Friday. So after me and Nate Dogg start the show and I start to stream, eventually I think we might do a giveaway when Nathan's here, Nate Dogg's here, or he might end up going home like sometime. He goes around in a couple hours. But we will be doing giveaways for the ROS keys. Thanks to Foley. If you guys see him in chat, he is a subscriber. Thank him because he's been providing the funds to give away in the stream. So I'm not going to tell people what the conditions is. All I'm going to simply do is this. After a certain amount of numbers hit in the viewer count, nothing too high, basically the same numbers we normally do. But once we hit a certain mark, so we get a good amount of people, I'll ask a question that people who are actually in the stream a lot of the time should know about me. So if it's somebody who comes in, they might know the question or they may not. But this is an interesting way because we can't just give away to subscribers or non-subscribers because, we can't do that anymore. But I can ask a question and whoever sends me the message first, they'll get the ROS key. So we're going to start doing those giveaways every Friday. So if you pay and watch attention to the stream, especially when we're talking about stories or Nate Dogg might be talking a little bit about his personal life, it could be any type of question. It could be a question involving Nate Dogg, myself, Ice Mocha. She's here a lot. She does a lot of the artwork. Ryan Ken, he's a gentleman. He's retired from the military. He plays the game. We do a lot of story time with Ryan King because he tells a story about the military, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Any of those people I talk to, any things I do in the stream, it could be any kind of question, and the first person to give me that question right in the inbox, I will send them an ROS key. And we're going to try to be doing 3 giveaways a week. I think we're going to do them between Friday and Saturday, or I might just do all 3 Friday. We'll see how it goes, or I'll probably spread them out between Friday and Saturday. And then also Saturday, Sunday is going to be subscriber day. So Saturday is going to be the bounty run day, and then Sunday is going to be the, Sunday is going to be the rift farming day for about 8 hours each or whatever those days and stuff like that. So as always, we appreciate you guys watching the stream. We're going to go ahead and stop the stream just for 1 second, then restart it back up just so I have a timestamp so I can just upload this to YouTube. But as always, follow on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. HTTP or www.twitch.tv or twitch.tv.